What's up, guys? This is your girl Kai, and today we are joined by a special guest, Giaunni Rogers, and you're watching the hottest youth sports show, Sports Told by Youth, for youth, by youth. Make sure you're following us on all platforms at Sports Told by Youth, and following G at @IAM_Gianni. Gianni Rogers is a 5'8", class of 2027, a.k.a. G-Money. She's an elite point guard, ranked top 5 in the state of Georgia. Gianni is a reigning 2024 state champ for the St. Francis Lady Knights, who just won back-to-back state titles. G has been awarded MVP and 2024 Freshman of the Year. G plays for the #1 travel ball program in the country of FBC United. She holds several power and 5 offers. She will be joined by a very special guest today. So make sure you guys keep locked in and let's get to know G. Roger that.
G, welcome. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
It's a pleasure to have you here. As I tell people all the time,
Thank
it's
you,
a
thank
great
you.
opportunity each time we get guests like yourself to come in and sit with us and talk a little bit about you. Kai, you ready to kick this off? I'm excited.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes, sir.
All right, so G, one thing we do before we get started with every show, we like to give a toast, right? Well, we go around and we say what we're thankful for. So I'll start us off. So you got some positivity water from one of our sponsors, and so we'll take a shot of that, a drink of that, right, when our time comes. But I'll tell you what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for opportunity to sit here with you, Kyla, to sit here with you, G, a phenomenal student, athlete, and your parents for allowing us the opportunity just to get to know you and tell your story a little bit and have you work on your presentation and interview skills. So that's what I'm thankful today. What about you, Kyla? What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful to be able to interview G and to learn more about you.
Okay. G, what about you?
I'm thankful for, of course, to be alive and to be here with you guys.
Awesome.
Amazing opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, I'll drink to that. Well, we'll crack out positivity water. Make sure you go out and check Walmart.com, positivity water at all your local brands. So let's hydrate ourselves a little bit, guys. All right. We got that out the way, so let's kick it. Kyle, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
All right, G, let me go first here. So my first question there. I know you're coming from practice day. You're kind of in off-season AAU form.
Yes.
Let's talk about, are there any specific rituals or routine you follow pregame? Like, how do you get going? Is there music you listen to? Tell us about that.
Well, most of the time I just make sure I'm listening to my music, but it's a little weird to say, but I always have to make sure that my edges are done, my lip gloss is on, and my lashes are curled with some mascara. So that's really my routine and ritual.
I love it.
Everything.
You can dig that too, right? You girls can dig that. So pregame ritual, we're making sure our lashes, our makeup is done, the curls is done. What do you listen to? Are you a music or your Beats by Dre? What do you listen to?
Yes, I listen to music in my AirPod Max.
Okay.
But just a lot of rap, to kind of mix. I don't really have too much of a hardcore playlist.
Okay. Who's rapping on that playlist, though?
Who's your artist?
Please do not.
Drake.
Okay.
Okay.
Future.
All right.
Young Thug, and just some small rappers here and there.
Okay.
A lot of the popular rappers, though.
Got it. I got it. Phil, I can dig it. All right.
At least you don't listen to Baby Kia. Who? Thank God.
We got to stop saying that about Baby Kia might hear this. All right, Kyle, I'll pass it to you.
Okay. How do you typically prepare for a game?
Same thing, really. Just the music, make sure my lip gloss is done, lashes on. I pray. I have to make sure that I pray for every game. That's really something that I'm good with. And just relaxing myself and relaxing my mind.
I love that. Every show we get busy. Kyle, we got to put a checklist of things I want to make sure we do. Typically, we do pray before every show. And like you, G, I don't know if it's a sports thing. I don't know if it's raised by my parents who always pray before you go to bed at night, but I agree. I think praying is, your belief, your faith is an important part to everything that we do. So I love to hear the fact that you pray, you get that time with God to really get locked in on that effort you're about to put in.
Yes.
How do you deal with the tough situations when things getting tough, right? You've been a high prospect for a long time. You've played in a lot of big games. You play on one of the best, as we read in your bio, you play on one of the best AAU teams. So there's always pressure. There's always cameras. Both of your parents were professional athletes. Your dad played in the NFL. Your mom played professional basketball. So how do you deal with your pressure and the mental toughness of the game?
I don't really get too, rowdy or anything like that. I really am good at with like keeping myself calm down and not too thinking about the moment. So just relaxing myself. I don't get too much pressure because I'm really prepared for this.
Oh wow, that's awesome. I tell people
Great answer.
Great answer, right? If I tell people all the time, I've been coaching for years, G, and being an athlete as well. The ones that can hone that skill, that is calm under pressure, that slows things down when everybody else is going crazy.
Being patient.
That is a ultimate trait that you need to keep harnessing and keep taking with you as you move through the ranks.
Yes.
Back to you, Kyla.
Old, please. Okay. What does your training routine look like in a typical day?
My training routine on a typical day, I would say I'm strength training once a week. Of course, I'm recovering, getting that recovery in. But strength training and making sure I'm training for basketball 2 times a week.
Got it.
And just depending on the weekend or the weekend before will really predict what I do during the week.
Let me ask you this. We put an emphasis on obviously you guys, but we also like to highlight trainers, coaches, people that help out with your development.
Yes. So is there anybody you would want to give like a shout out and you could like write in your camera and just shout them out?
Any coaches, anybody you training with these days?
Yes. I would like to shout out Coach Pitts, Coach Jazz, Coach Flood, and Coach Archie.
Okay, nice. I've met Coach Archie and I go way back. We've been coached for years, a good friend of mine. I've seen the videos you with Coach Pitts in that gym getting after with you guys, Coach Jazz, Coach Floyd, all those individuals. I mean, shout out to them for doing an awesome job. I mean, they're helping you get to the next level. So shout out to all those individuals that are helping you maintain and actually grow in the game of basketball. So on me, what is your most memorable moment? As I said again, parents played professionally. You've got to see a lot of cool things. I would probably guess. What's your most memorable athletic moment?
My most memorable moment would probably be just recently, like you said, winning a state championship at St. Francis as a freshman, and I got MVP. So, and I played my last game with 2 of my favorite seniors for sure. So
Who are those?
Samaya Wyatt, also known as Maya and Nunu, and then Naya Young.
Wow, I've seen all 3 of them play from watching you guys the last 3 years. So,
Yes.
what makes those special? What was the bond? You played one. Did you know him before?
Yes, so I've known Naya since I played at Alpharetta as a junior Raider.
Okay.
Since I was in the 4th grade.
Yep.
And then Maya, I met, of course, at St. Francis, Wheeler, and just that whole type of process that I went through with coming up back to St. Francis. So I was just super close to them. So it was just it hit me when I was like, oh my God, this is our last game together. So it was pretty cool moment.
It's cool too to hear you say, even to see your face expression as you talk about them. So shout out to those 3. I've gotten to watch you guys for a couple of years, but you sent them out the right way. If that was the last moment I got to play with you, I would love for it to be on a championship run. So you were saying, and I want to stay here for a second if you don't mind. Why is that your most memorable? Because the fact that you was able to spend it with them, you won MVP. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yes, it was pretty memorable because, it was a really big moment, and I stepped up as a freshman in a big position and to be in. Not all freshmen get the opportunity to play in a state championship game.
No.
So for me to get MVP and for me to do it with them was really memorable for me.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think another thing that's important, you're a freshman coming off a team that just won a championship, a very seasoned team, a very good team coached by Coach Kennedy. So for a freshman to come in and to be able to put that production, I think is huge. And get MVP.
Yes.
Can we talk about that? How did you? What were your numbers that game? What were your numbers that day for that game?
Honestly, I believe I had 19 points. I don't remember, the et cetera, but I just remember about what they put up on the screen. But I don't know. It was just, I don't even know. It honestly didn't hit me when we were stretching, preparing for the game, It didn't hit me that I was playing in a state game. This was my last high school game my freshman year. So it didn't really hit me until, it still honestly hasn't hit me now that freshman year is over.
Right.
We're on to sophomore year. You're no longer freshman on varsity. You're a sophomore on varsity. So, that was pretty big.
No, that's dope. I like I said, and again, the key word freshman. Where do we go from here, right? You got 3 additional years.
Yes.
You win a state championship in your first year. You're the MVP that year. What are your goals? I know you say just still process. Have you thought about what do we do now going forward?
No, I honestly haven't thought about that. I mean, of course, just to keep excelling and getting better. And, now that there are players gone, you're going to get new roles or more responsibility throughout the year. So just the responsibilities that are going to come with it. I feel like I'm pretty prepared for it, and AAU is going to also help me really prepare for those.
Awesome. Let's, Colin, excuse me. I'll pass it back to you in a second, but you said some things that I make sure I don't want to leave out. Can we talk about Coach Kennedy? What has she meant for your development? I mean, Coach has an impressive resume, years of winning, a standard at St. Francis.
Yes.
What has she meant for your development and her leadership?
Well, I've known Coach G for a while, probably since I was in about the 6th grade. So she's really meant a lot. She's helped me, get introduced to a lot of things in the high school world, AAU. She actually not helped me, but told me about FBC also.
Yep.
So, and, during high school, her push, her believing in me, like I said, as a freshman.
As a freshman, right.
So just the faith she had in me and the push, how she pushed me at every moment during practice. When I was having a bad game, she still uplifted me. That's pretty important, and not everybody gets that in a coach.
No.
She was not just a coach. She was also family, so it's pretty big.
That's awesome.
That's an amazing relationship you have with one of your coaches.
Right.
And that's awesome to hear. So shout out to Coach G and that whole staff. I know you guys are going to continue to build, and I look forward to seeing you guys win 2, 3 more, as Mike said, right? 1, 2, 3 more championships. Let's talk about, and I'm going to pass it back to you, Kyla, but G's giving me some good stuff I don't want to leave out. Let's talk about your AAU team. I mean, when I think about AAU, I know it's the best of the best.
Yes.
It's almost like an all-star team. Could you talk about what is that coming off the championship? Now you with FBCU, am I saying it correctly? United?
FBC United, yes.
Could you talk about that team and some of the players and the coaches you're with there?
I've been with FBC for 3 years now, and I feel like that culture and the mindset that they've helped me get into as a player has been really big for me and has really changed my game all the way around in my mentality and just getting me ready because in these jungles and practices that we're having, everybody's going at each other. So it's really preparing you for the next step. Like, it really, when, of course, all my three years of AAU, 2 years of AAU has gone out, I feel like I would be ready and prepared for the next step, which is the college level. So I feel like they really do a good job with that and just pushing you. And the team, we're all good. So It's either you fit in where you play or whatever. If not, then you sit back and watch. But we're
so you got to
really
be
good.
hungry.
Yeah, you gotta be ready because there's no time to wait because someone else is right behind you trying to get your position.
Wow, that's awesome. And that iron sharpens iron, right?
Right.
We've heard that for years. So I'm sure that team's going to continue to help you develop.
Yes.
How do you maintain focus and mental toughness during a high pressure situation?
I'm pretty poised, and I'm learning to be even more poised in high pressure situations.
Great word.
So, I don't know. I feel like I'm just already prepared for this. Like, I feel like I'm born to do this and be in high pressure situations and know how to react. So I really don't have a thought process. I just react off of what the defense gives me, and what they give me is how I react to the situation.
I love it that you can see the game. You
Yes.
slow it down, that pause you've spoken of. And I meant to tell you this the other night in our pre-interview call. I make sure I tell this to every kid, athlete. Your parents may have explained it to you, may not. One of the things I'm big on, G, as a coach, as an athlete, I learned down the road. There's intangibles and there's tangible things. The word you used is poise.
Yes.
It's intangible, right? We can't touch.
Right.
We can't feel poise. You just know it. You have it. You display it. It's a reflection of who you are. Keep working on your intangibles, right? Poise, that self-confidence, that hunger that you have, those things that people can't, they can take certain things away from you, but they can't take away your poise, right? They can't take away your hunger, your discipline, your drive to be the best. So I love that you mentioned that. Keep working on that and keep honing those skills. That's what the guy behind you, the guy up there, that's what separated them.
Yes.
They were poised. They were disciplined. They were hungry. So you have that element. Keep putting yourself in positions where you can keep exercising those muscles. So I love it. So let's get off a little serious stuff a little bit here. what do you do in your free time? Like, what do you do for
Yes,
fun? I mean,
yes,
obviously,
yes.
what do you do for your free time?
You know, I'm still a normal teenager, so I do the typical things. You know, I love actually to get my nails done, my toes done,
Me
my
too.
feet done, spending money, shopping, you know, just the typical things, being on my phone, making TikToks. So it's not really too much
When you
to
going
it, just
shopping?
relaxing.
When you going shopping, where you going?
I do a lot of online shopping. So, like, and most of the time it's, you know, go trying to get some shoes or, you know, some clothes, T-shirts, gallery. So it really depends. Pretty Little Thing, Forever 21,
Yes.
you know, the typicals.
You like Zara, right? Is that do you do any Zara stuff?
Yes, I do. But I don't really shop there that much. My mom shops there more than I probably shop there, for sure.
I don't know what they're giving away in that store. Like, every time you go in
Their
that store,
kids' clothes are really good, though, so.
we went in there one time. Like, why is the line so long? Like, the
Yeah,
line is
the
out the
line's
door.
always
Like,
long.
and whenever you
Yeah.
go in the mall, you pass that place, it's a line out the door.
Yes.
So-
always
I do
a lot.
like Forever 21 though too. That's
Do
my
you?
favorite. And DTL.
Okay.
DTLR, yeah.
Yes.
So you're into sneakers. You said goat. You own Goat. I know that's a sneaker website. What are your Goat sneakers? Like, what are some sneakers that you love? What are those we wearing? Like, what are your sneakers? I'm a sneaker guy too.
Well, these are designer. These are Mason Mahara's, or however you pronounce
Right.
it. I don't know how to say that, but
They're expensive.
yes, very. So I would feel like, I don't know. I just sneakerhead. So Jordans,
Yes.
Dunks, anything, threes.
I
you
love
name it, I
Dunks.
probably got it. Honestly.
So your favorite is Dunks. Obviously, you're wearing a pair now. We're sneaker, as you probably see all the
Yeah.
sneakers around. That's the overflow from the other closets and outside the basement. So I'm a big sneaker guy. So my favorite, I grew up watching Jordan, so I'm in that era. So
You like the Jordans?
my favorite number is 11s. As you can see, I had every color of the 11s.
That you can get.
I just fell in love with those, so I've always wore 11s. But I'm turning into a dunk and low guy now. So, what is your all time favorite shoe? If I had a check, I could write you to go on StockX. Go ahead.
So what if we do your favorite basketball shoes and your favorite like shoes that you
Casual.
would wear?
Okay, great question. Yep.
Okay.
But let me set the stage though. If I had a check to write you to go on Goat for Goat, StockX, whatever reseller or we can go to. Favorite basketball shoe? You go to all time shoe and casual shoe.
My favorite basketball shoe is Kobe's. I don't wear anything else probably but Kobe's, and you know, a couple other Nike shoes, but Kobe's are my favorite. It doesn't really matter the number to me as long as they're cute, you know. But casual shoe, my favorites, let's see, are probably my Off-White 4s.
Off-White 4s. Okay.
Yes, those are probably my favorite. They're cream, you know, neutral color.
Yep.
So, but my favorite Kobe shoe is my reverse Grinches now. I'm
Grinches.
starting to, both the Grinches I love, but
Yes.
I'm starting to like my reverse Grinches more than my other ones.
We were leaving the gym one day, me and my son and a kid. I forget what Grinches that just came out around Christmas.
Yeah, reverse.
And we was leaving the basketball game from St. Francis, and the kid's walking. First of all, he should.
Yeah.
My era, you come from when you leave the gym,
You
your
take
shoes
them
come
off.
right?
You take them off.
This joker's walking out. He's
Yeah.
from one of Whitfield or one of these schools. He has those Grinches on, and he's walking shoelaces
Mm-hmm.
untied, just stepping on the shoelaces.
That's terrible.
It took
I'll
everything in me
probably
to say,
start
big
crying.
dog. Right, big dog. Once you tie those shoelaces, first of all, take
Right.
them off. Wear your
Right.
flip flops. Okay,
Right.
so Kobe's, Grinch, and all fours. What would you go say, Kai?
I just said Crocs.
Crocs. Right,
Yeah,
right.
Crocs are, you never can go wrong with some Crocs. I have too many Crocs. I probably need to get rid of some.
I had a
It's
game
terrible.
today, and I literally took off my cleats the minute we got off the hill and put my Crocs on.
So while we're on goats, let's talk goats for a second. Who is your goat of basketball? Where it could be women, men's. Like, who is your favorite all-time basketball player?
Well, my favorite all-time basketball player for women's would probably be Deja Kelly and Hannah Hidalgo.
Okay.
I would say Deja Kelly because she just reminds me a lot of myself. You know, girly off the court, but a dog on the court. That mentality, that mentality that you can put aside. So definitely her, and Hannah Hidalgo, definitely just her mentality, like killer, same, like just all around killer. So, and then for men's, Kobe. It's really the mentality and like it's really the mentality. Because in
Mamba.
this sport, that's what you have to have. If you don't have mentality, you won't,
Make it anywhere.
swim. You won't swim with the sharks. You'll be swimming with the fish.
I love it. The poise, where your mind is, the mentality. You stick with that guy. So I always ask people that question, then I answer it, whether you ask me or not. So
Right.
Mike's number one for me. Hear me out, G. Let me give you my. I didn't smack when you said. I didn't smack when you said who yours was, right?
It's okay. It's
Mike's
okay.
my number one. I grew up in that era, but when we talk about mentality, Mike had that dog in him that killing him. But
Yeah.
my close number two is the B. Kobe, the mama mentality. I tell people all the time, I'm so sorry he passed, right?
Yes.
Because I think he has so much still to give to the game of basketball, and especially women's. He was just so, with his daughters, he was
Yes.
growing into it. So, but Kobe's my second, right? I mean, you like the killer in Kobe, right? You like the mama mentality, so nothing wrong with
Oh, I
that.
have another question.
Yep, go ahead.
Who's your favorite college women's basketball
I
player?
think she's Hannah, right? Is
Yeah,
Hannah?
Hannah
go ahead.
Hidalgo and Deja Kelly.
Educate me. I know the names, but for some reason it's drawing a blank. Where did Hannah go to? Hannah's on
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Deja Kelly just transferred to Oregon.
I think it's your turn.
How you feel about that transfer?
I don't like it.
Let me-
I mean, it's just Oregon. I don't really see too much about them, so it was kind of shocking. But
Maybe she can
So
light
she-
some fire in it or
yeah,
something.
maybe something like that. But
What are your thoughts on the transfer portal? I mean, you see, and G, I want you to think about this because this may be something you're faced with
right.
in a couple of years, right? You're going to be. What are your thoughts on the transfer portal?
It's funny. I was just talking to my parents about that. We were all talking about it, but I don't know. I feel like the transfer portal can be beneficial if you're going for the right reasons. But
Yes.
if you're going just because this school can offer me more money, then I don't think it's a good idea.
Like a
or
smart decision.
just like the way people are transferring year and year. Like Haley Van Lith, okay, she stayed at Louisville for 2 years. You went to LSU. Now you're on to TCU. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, but it could be other things that are beneficial for her, but
I wish she'd have never left Louisville.
I don't either. I think she should just stayed and wrote it out.
Gee, one thing you're gonna know, I'm at LSU. I'm actually in grad school at LSU.
Really?
I'm from Louisiana. I'm at LSU.
Wow.
All the way. Go Tigers, right? Everything. The only reason it doesn't have
fan.
purple and gold in it is because I had to be neutral to the show,
Yeah.
right? But so I watched every women's game of LSU, and she was just out of place. I mean, it just didn't fit. I
Yeah.
think they were making her play point guard when she really wasn't.
And the way she had to play,
Yes.
playing through Angel Reese, because they weren't going to change it just for her.
No, not at all.
They were playing through Angel Reese, so I feel like Angel Reese and Michaela. I feel like Michaela had the green light coming in as a freshman also. So
And she did. Michaela
Yeah.
reminds me of you. When I watch your jump shot, you have a beautiful jump shot.
thank you.
Michaela's
Just on the
Michaela's McDonald's All-American, Louisiana All-American. So, but like you said, everything with Haley was fifth wheel at best.
Yes.
at LSU. Okay, back to me, Kai.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about you. You already kind of while we're on personal stuff. Any other hobbies outside of TikTok? Anything you like to do? Ping pong? You like eating out? When I talked to you the night you were at, you guys are coming from the Taste Alpharetta. What are some other hobbies outside of anything else? Basketball?
No.
Outside of being a
It's-
dog.
it's really basketball because you got to be dedicated if you want to go to the next level, of course, because you can get behind like this.
Yes.
If you're wanting to put your attention into other things that aren't like just the regular hobbies, like I said, but if you're trying to do, 10 sports, that's not,
Especially now when
right now. Yeah, no.
back in my day, you used to go switch. You would go from basketball, and probably your dad too. We went from basketball, we played baseball. You had seasons.
Yeah, you had seasonal sports.
Not
That was
anymore.
it. Yeah, I mean, you still do
Just
like
hold round.
I just got a track season. So, but I know my priorities. I know basketball is my main focus, whether it's high school or AAU. I know that's going to come first before I put, any other sport that I were to do.
Absolutely. So what the point she's making, Kai, is that even running track, she's still getting up shots. Like the basket doesn't totally block out,
Right.
Track doesn't block out basketball. And I tell people all the time, it's sports now for our generation now. It's a business almost. Like you said, if you take too long off, FBC still playing. Like people are playing
People
around
are
the
still
clock.
playing. Yeah,
getting
they're
better.
not waiting for you to get with it. If you're not with it, you're not with it.
Got it. let's talk about how many shots you get up a day. Do you have a number? Is there something in your head? Is there?
No.
What do you do on a daily basis to keep that game tight?
Well, if I'm not training, I'm definitely in the gym getting shots up at our gym at the high school. So I mean, I don't really know a number. Like, I don't want to say 1,000.
Right.
That's just ridiculous.
It is.
But at least 300 shots. Like, if I'm going to just go on shooting machine, it's easy to get up kind of those quick shots if you're going in there for an hour. So, yeah, probably around 300
Okay,
maybe.
good deal. I'll pass it back to you, Kai. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. What motivates you to keep pushing yourself and excel in your sports?
God, of course, the man upstairs. And just the way that I see women's basketball is coming to be so, like, you know, it's becoming bigger for women's. Like, we're getting more and more opportunities. Now women are starting to being flown out on private jets for their games and things like that. It just makes me even more hungrier. It makes me just more motivated to, because I want to be in that position.
Right.
So I want to keep pushing so I can be in the WNBA. I can be getting these chances that women are getting. So that's what I feel like is my push.
No, great respect. And don't forget about us when you do make it, right? When
Yeah.
you're getting
I got you.
What do you say? When you're getting flown out on
Shout out
private
to
jets.
sports.
What about you? There you go.
Actually, what you mean is, leave him at home and give me a ticket.
I'm good with that. Right? I'm good with that. But don't forget about us when you, because with your mentality, you're going to make it. And you're right. You know, my days with Cheryl Swoops and Lisa Leslie, you know, and they were great. But now, you know, Caitlin and the crew, Hidalgo, all the crew that's playing right now, you guys are going somewhere. The tickets, the season tickets were sold out.
Yes.
You're starting to see more games on TV. 2-3 years. I hope, you know, the powers at BCs will send, and it's fun. Like, I actually enjoy the cut and the slash, and it's almost like I'm a big golfer, and I enjoy watching women's golf
Huge.
because the swing is still pure. Like, they truly, the mechanics are there, and the same thing with basketball. So I hope they keep going where they're going. I'll leave it to you, Kai.
All right. Let's see. How do you balance your athletic career with other aspects of your life, such as family and education?
Well, as far as family and friends and, you know, of course, my education, I'll go with my education first. I feel like you're a student athlete first. So
Could you say that again?
you're a student athlete first.
Yes.
I hear that.
Don't y'all forget that out there.
So I feel like I always make sure my books come first before I feel like I need to go get some shots up. Let me make sure I'm prepared for this test that I have tomorrow, or I'm not staying out for something else too late before my education.
Yeah.
And as far as my friends, I don't really have too many friends that like don't play basketball or don't get the path I'm trying to go to or go in, I would
Like,
say.
not friends like distracting you.
Right, or like no friends that are distracting me. Like, they get what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go. So I mostly keep around friends that are really supportive of that. And
That's
as
good.
far as my family, you know, they're so dedicated to me and the sacrifices they make for me. So it's not hard for them to get it. I don't really.
They really are,
understand.
because they're all here.
Right. Yes. Like, they understand that this is what I need to do so I can be successful and help them when I get older. Like, if you guys need something, I'll be there, you know, type of thing. So they really understand.
Yeah, shout out to your fam.
Yes, shout out to the fam.
And we'll close. We're not going to close yet, but when we do, that's probably going to be one of the last questions I ask. We'll talk about what your mom and dad met you, but we'll get to that in a second. I love where your mind's at. Like I said, this is, even for you,
Great responses.
yes.
Amazing.
As I'm sitting here and as a father, I'm proud, right? Because I know your parents, your grandmother, everybody's sitting out there. They've done a phenomenal job with you. But your mindset, just hearing you talk to my daughter, like that's so you listen to her mindset. Listen to where she's going, where she wants to be. Talking about distraction, poise. I hope all little girls, not just girls, guys, you know, anybody that has a goal, if they can apply what you're applying to it, I think there's going to be they'll be in the right place with that. So awesome to hear where your mind's at. Let's talk about some fun stuff. Food. What do you like to eat? What is your go-to? What is a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner? Like, what do you eat? Obviously, you gotta eat. You gotta eat healthy because you're an athlete.
of
But
course.
what's your like your sin? I'm a big sweets guy. We all are sweets in this house.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a sweet tooth, but I feel like, as an athlete, you have times where it's time to have sweets and it's time to not have sweets. So I feel like during the week, I try to do really good with those type of things. I don't really have too many sweets. A lot of salads, protein, dinner, salmon, broccoli, something healthy that my mom cooks, And on the weekends, maybe some Chick-fil-A. But I'm not, I've actually started to do better with my sweet tooth. When I was younger, I used to, love sweets. But now I feel like I'm doing better with knowing I got to cut that out. I can't have that. So, yeah.
Okay, good. But if you could have something, what would it be? Your go-to dessert, restaurant, place. Where are we going, right? If I could write you, and we're going to have sweets.
Well,
you just won the state championship. I want to reward you for being MVP. What do we get you?
Let's see. If I didn't have any boundaries or anything, I would probably ask my mom to make some cobbler.
Okay.
Some apple cobbler or some peach cobbler, depending on. She makes this apple dump cake type of thing. That's good that we have on Christmas. So yeah, or
Save
some cobbler. Huh?
That's a save me his life.
That does sound good, doesn't it?
Yeah, and probably a restaurant. Texas Roadhouse.
Get out of here. No, listen.
I'm so serious.
Hear me out. No, I'm with you. Listen. Let me tell you guys why. Have traveled the world. Me and my wife, we've eaten at some amazing, Michelin star restaurants.
Yeah.
Without me. Just had to make that
Obviously.
clear. Yeah.
Gee, I always tell people, my number one steakhouse, if I'm not at a 5-star, it's Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
They don't miss.
They don't miss.
From the
It's
bread.
really the bread.
Right, they don't
I
miss.
feel like if you have
Sometimes I'm just going in for the bread.
No, literally. I feel like the bread is probably the devil in that situation.
Yes.
But I do it's funny because I don't really get any of the fancy things. A lot of people get some steak or some salmon.
I'm not eating steak.
I get a salad, a chicken salad.
But their salads are huge.
Yeah,
and
their
they're
salads
good.
are huge and good and filling.
Yes.
So I just get a chicken salad and I'll have my rolls and I'll be good.
Listen, I'm a
just get
fan of
full off
Texas
the
Roadhouse.
rolls.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm big on Texas Roadhouse. You got me thinking about going to Texas Roadhouse today.
No, literally tomorrow.
Right,
it's Mother's Day.
Yes, it's gonna be madness in there tomorrow. So we may go
for
today,
sure.
but from that bread, I always get the steak and the sweet potato with the. I love their sweet potato.
It's the devil too.
Yes, and then I'm getting dessert, G. I'm getting
everything.
I can't remember how long it's been since I've had that because it's just so much and it's just not. It's honestly
Come home with
not
3
good
boxes of leftovers.
Right, it's just not good to have. So
I'll pass it back to you, Kai.
Okay. What are your goals for the future, both in your athletic career and beyond?
Great question.
Well, in my athletic career, I want to make sure or try to make sure that I make it to the highest level of basketball, that I can. And academically, educationally, I would say I want to be in the medical field or do IT. So, something around that area. Yep. What do you want to be?
I want to be a lawyer.
A lawyer.
Why?
I can see you being a lawyer.
I like to fight with people and have debates and show the real truth because end of the day, truth gonna come out.
Oh, okay.
Murder
people
cases?
Some people in jail.
God.
Okay. All right. I love it.
I find that stuff interesting.
Yeah. I like those type of shows. They're interesting.
Good deal.
Mystery.
So now we get into the heavy stuff. Now, I'll when you sit back and you think about, do you visualize the game? Do you visualize being at the free throw line? What role does visualization play when you're in your game and your everyday?
Well,
Life.
That part. Well, during training, I'm always training and visualizing there's another defender in front of me. So I feel like when the game comes, it's clockwork. I've been here before. I know what this is. So that's really what it plays in my game.
Awesome. 5 years from now, if you can see yourself, obviously we know
20.
right. Well, let's not put a time on it. Typically, what we ask is, if you had to give yourself advice, if I can play this, if I can send this tape or send you a text message 5 years from now, what would you tell yourself?
Well, depending on where I am 5 years from now, I would say your hard work is paid off, but you're still not done. It's still more to come. Life is really just getting started once you hit those 20s, because you're no longer under your parents' roof.
Yep.
You're by yourself in college. Yeah. So that's probably what I would. Yeah, that's all.
The work isn't still done. You still got more to do.
You still have more to do. Nothing's done. It's not done.
Good deal. Parents, I'll let you do it.
I'm done.
All right. So at every juncture, right, I think as a coach and as a father, I have a responsibility to ask, because I'm one, right? And I understand the sacrifices I've made. DJ's in the 8th grade. She's in the 6th. But to get an athlete like you, there's an investment of not even the financial piece, of time, ripping, running down the highway, the talks, the motivation, praying with you, making sure you do well. We'll talk about both of your parents first. But what role has your mom played into your development and just your overall character of who you are?
Well, my mom, as a woman, I do follow a lot of her traits, because I'm really with my mom a lot too, because, girls.
Absolutely.
So, boy,
Right,
yeah,
she's
you're
with her mom
with
most
your
of the
mom and you're always with DJ. So, I really do pick up a lot of her traits, just being a woman and knowing how to carry myself and what she's installed in me. So I feel like I'm really a lot like her.
Yeah.
She means a lot to you.
Yes.
Well, that's your camera. Tell her what she means to you. I'm going to put you on the spot.
I don't want to get too emotional. So my mom means probably, oh, Jesus.
It's,
Take your time.
this is your pre-Mother's Day card.
Oh, God. Well, Mom, you mean the world to me.
Wow.
And you are, for sure, the best mom in the world that I could ever ask for. And I would never trade you for another one. And I love you so much.
Wow. You got me. It's like a movie. You got me want to cry in here. It's like a Hallmark. I'm sorry. Right? That's powerful, right? I'm going to cut that. We're going to make that a Mother's Day piece. We was going to ask you at the end to just give a little something similar to what you did. We've been asking everybody to do that, so we can just run this tomorrow on Mother's Day. But I always tell people, G, there's nothing like mom. I mean, your dad will tell you that. I'll tell you that. Most anybody, your grandma, there's nothing like mom. They only make one of them. So
Mom is home.
Mom is home. So to hear the impact that she's had on you, just to see how you're emotionally moved, it means a lot. I know she is warming her heart to hear you say that too. So what about you? What does your mom mean to you?
My mom means like the universe, stars, everything to me. She does so much for me, to the helping me with the homework, helping me with like other things and stuff. And like she always like keeps me pumped. Like whether I'm like ready to like give up, it's like she's always right there to like help you pick up the pieces, think about what you do, and she tells me when I'm wrong and helps me see. Sometimes I can be really disrespectful and stuff, but like I feel like there's nothing like a mother. Like I love my mom, bottom of my heart. Like she takes up everything, she does everything for me. I love her so much.
All right, so
What does your mom mean to you?
Me and Carlos we lunch meet, huh? We just our dads.
Oh, we love you.
I'm just kidding. No, G, great question. I've said this before. Similar to you, I don't cry much, but
He does not.
My expression would be the same as you guys, right? My mom was a single parent. It was me and her for most of our life. Like I'll often tell people like to take a bath. G, I used to have to boil water. That's why I come from Louisiana. Like to put the pot on the stove to get hot water. She had to carry it to the back in the tub and put the cold water in to make warm water. Right. It was always just me and my mom. So my mom is a warrior. The things you speak of about poise and discipline, my hustle, I got it from my mom. It was just me and her for almost 14 years before my brother came. So, again, you won't see the emotion, but I just love what a mom means. She means the world to me. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to all the moms out there. But moms are special. My mom is special.
Very.
And like you, I think she's the greatest mom that's out there, but everybody feels that way about their mom. But she's special to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's get off this because y'all getting all mushy on me here. So let's talk about us other guys. Your dad. What does your dad mean to you? Like, what role your dad has played to you?
My dad is my twin. I act
Right.
my facial expressions, my face, my smile. I'm starting to, look like my mom a little bit more. But my dad is my twin. We always bump heads because, I have a lot of similarities.
Right.
So,
Yes.
he means the world to me too. He does. Jesus, not everybody is blessed to have a father figure in the
Yes.
home. So I feel like that's really important to me.
Yes. To your point, G, and we're gonna bring your dad here in a second. I always tell people the coolest. I've had some incredible titles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm talking about I was the highest ranking in the military.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a team leaders. I can get the list. I'm an executive. The list goes on,
Mm-hmm.
but they pale in comparison to being called dad or father.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the most important roles God has assigned me to. So shout out to your dad and all he's done for you and what he means to you. We're looking forward to talking to him a little bit when he comes in. All right, we did a little switcherooski here. G, we got somebody special. You was just talking about him, although it's Mother's Day. I'm glad to have another dad on set with me.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos, welcome, man. Good to have you. How you doing
Thanks
today?
for having me. I'm doing good.
G, so I want to bring your dad in because again, I think dad brings an element. And for those who don't know who's watching, this is Carlos Rogers, NFL veteran, Auburn alumni. We just had Ben. Ben was on set. Me and Ben Groves are good friends, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you this moment real quick. I sent it to Giaunni Rogers actually. We were just talking about your Auburn days. We was talking about that team and how loaded it was. I mean, Jason Campbell,
Right.
yourself. I mean, the running backs, y'all were loaded. And he said something that was so cool that I thought he talked about the bond y'all had. I think he said y'all had a chaplain. Y'all prayed for each other, and he just talked about that moment. I just thought it was so cool to hear that even back then. Kids, they don't want to do that no more, Carlos. Like they think,
No.
they don't want to be a band of brothers anymore. So I just thought that was cool, man. Welcome. What can you tell us about this fabulous daughter you guys have raised?
A lot. Most important, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. She listens. She's respectful. She's good to get along with in any setting, on the court and off the court. And we're just trying to raise her right. Some of the things we taught from our parents, just trying to instill in her.
Gee, Carlos, I'll tell you, and I said in front of her, I was telling her, you're there watching, but just to hear her responses. Salute to you and Giaunni Rogers from man to man. Like, I could you be her mentor? Like, I want my daughter to have the characteristics that she had, right? So to you guys, man, y'all doing an amazing job.
Appreciate it.
What has your dad meant to you? I mean, obviously you can tell him now. What has he meant to you? You said y'all look alike, your smile. What has he meant to you?
I feel like I really said everything, but my dad means so much to me. It's my twin, like I said. So, I mean, I don't really.
So what is it
means
like?
Everything.
So what is it like? Your dad's played professional football, just a professional, right? Mm-hmm. What is he being a professional has done for you? I think I know, but I want to hear you say it.
I feel like it's instilled a lot in me, being able to see him play at a professional level, and I still, remember sometimes, granted I didn't understand it all, but when I go back and think of it, like, wow, he was that man, of course. So, I just feel like his standards that he had really comes back to me too, because I'm like, I want to make sure that I keep these standards around the Rogers name alive.
It's a brand.
Right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? The Rogers is a brand. So definitely. Carlos, for you as a parent, a professional, has played in the level, obviously you guys are trying to raise her right, but from your playing days, what are some things that you picked up that you want her to have as well?
It's just work. One of the most important things, especially with these days, it's the phone. It's the phone. We was outside. They not outside like that.
Yes.
And granted, things have changed. You really don't want your kid outside like that.
Right.
Because these neighbors and your neighborhood is not like when we grew up. You kind of knew your neighbors.
It was a village.
And, you knew everybody. And if they say they going outside to their boy house or whoever house, they going outside. They gonna ride their bike, and before the lights come on, they coming back home. can't do this with these kids these days. So we just try to raise her right, instilling everything I was taught, and it was work. Don't worry about the outside noise. You keep working, everything's gonna come, and that's what's coming for her. You know, all the work that she's doing and gonna continue to do. She'll see more praise and see more college coaches on her. See her live outside her. Live and trying to fulfill her dreams, and that's all because of work.
Got it. Do you remember that your first offer?
Yes.
Who was it?
Boston College.
Boston College. How did that feel?
It felt amazing, but it was also like, I don't even know the word to say. But it was a feeling like, okay, your work is showing off. Like, not saying that getting offers doesn't mean your work is showing off, but knowing that someone else sees it and other people see it too was just like really like, okay, keep working. There's more to come. This is just the beginning. This is just your first offer.
Right.
So I just felt like that really, it was amazing moment.
And the reason I asked because I want to ask your dad. Do you remember your first one? You remember? He had a buzz.
No, I remember my first letter. I got my first letter.
Because we were getting letters back then. Me and Ben talked about it. We were getting letters back then. We were getting letters in the mail.
Yeah, we was getting letters, and my first letter was from Penn State.
Wow.
Yeah, my first letter was from Penn State. And, you know, when you open up your letters, I got a bunch of them, but you open it up, I'm like, okay, this letter looks like this coach saying this. But at the bottom, it all looked the same.
Same, yes.
But when you get that signature from a coach, you know that was something different and something was special and it was directly towards you. So, yeah, I remember my first offer, but at that time, I wasn't thinking about it like they are now. Mm-hmm. I just was playing football and wasn't even, and I tell her, and a lot of people don't believe me, I never practiced football.
Wow.
I never practiced football unless it was something with the team. I always played basketball and practiced basketball, and I was just, I guess, skilled at football that it took me to where I'm at. In high school now.
Right.
We say that in high school.
Right, football, it's business day, right.
And, college, I had to, you do a lot of stuff and you got to train, and especially professionally. But high school, my all season was basketball.
It makes sense. I mean, we grew up that way. We played, we hooped. That was what we saw. Let me ask you this, Carlos. Do you want Auburn for her? I mean, you probably going to tell, what are your thoughts? Where would you want her to go?
And be honest, guys, this doesn't mean anything to any other coaches. This is just being real.
Oh, no, I'm going to be real. A perfect setting, yes. You want your daughter to go to your school and live on the tradition, especially what I left in Auburn. But I want the best situation for her.
Yes.
And at first, that's what my mindset. Man, you go to Auburn, this and that, you're going to get taken care of.
VIP, it's red carpet.
Right, of course. But it's about, once you start talking to coaches and talking to different directors of the program that she in, it's about the best fit. They don't want to send a kid off to college and they keep transferring, going from porter to porter, program to program. So I just want the best fit for her, and wherever it takes her, that's where we going.
Awesome. I had to ask. I saw the Auburn offer when you got that and stuff like that. Carlos, a couple more questions for you before we roll. And this is directed towards you because, and same for you, I'll have you answer it. Public speaking, Carlos, I don't know about, me and you are the same age, same era, 81, 82. Like you said, we didn't have trainers and stuff like that. Our trainers were, you went out and hooped. You went out and played in the yard, and that's how it wasn't no Archie, it wasn't no Pitts, Floyd, it was each other, right? We went and hooped. The older guys were the trainers, right?
If you had trainers, you had some money.
Money, right. Right. Yeah. I wanted to ask, talking about that, but what is the draft experience? Like, I'm sorry, public speaking. We didn't have trainers. What do you think? What did you learn about public speaking and presentation and interviewing skills? Like, what are we doing now? This show is a platform, Los, for guys, for her and other kids to perfect their skills. So when the mic comes in front of them now, they're not like I would have been or probably you would have been early on. Mm-hmm. What role did anybody ever teach public speaking back in the day? Did you know anything about interviewing skills? When did you first meet it?
In college.
In college. That's
when I learned more about it, and you have people talking to you. I think one of the most important things I learned was you control the interview. It's somebody asking you a question, but your response controls the interview. And you're just relaxing. You're just relaxing, having a regular conversation, kind of like the game. Once you're on that court and you focus on your offense, your defense, and what you're doing, these cameras is the crowd. shouldn't be paying attention to them.
Right.
Just focus on the game. And the game is, just sitting here, controlling the interview, calm down, have a regular conversation. And sometimes you're going to get nervous.
Yeah. Yes.
So, but as a parent, just like this interview, we tell her things, prepare her, and she's going to learn more and more. The more she talk, the more she, experience some of the interviews and podcasts and different platforms like that. She'll learn more. And just like anything else, you need to live, we're going to have somebody help you with that.
Yes.
You need to shoot, we're going to have somebody help you with that. Just like this speech, just like her doing interviews and getting in front of different people, we're going to have somebody to teach her and help her. The thing about me and her mom, whatever we have learned and the mistakes and the good things that we learned growing up, we teaching her, and so she don't make mistakes. Being a kid, still going to make some, still going to be on their own, still going to think they know it all. But it's our job to instill her and direct her the right direction. Love
it. And I would tell you, Losa, I say in front of her, she's well ahead of the curve. She's confident. She's poised. Like I said, we all get nervous. I mean, I do this week in and week out. I talk to and I still get nervous in the first few minutes. But your dad said something key, and this is what I told you. It's just a conversation. It's just us talking. And you've done well in that area. So, what do you think about this process so far?
I'm a super outgoing person. So, I mean, the whole conversations, all the pressure stuff, that doesn't really faze me because I'm a friendly person. So, doing interviews like this, it's just fun to me. It's entertaining to me also, as well as I'm doing it to entertain other people. So, handle it pretty
You're well on your way. A couple more calls before we get you out here. Your draft, we're talking about, so she can hear it as well. Do you remember the night of the draft? Did you go to New York? Do you stay home? Could you talk about that draft experience?
No, I stayed home. I stayed home with my family. We was all in my living room, and like you said, my experience was good because I seen one of my best friends go number 2, Ronnie Brown. I seen my other best friend go number 5, Cardinale, and I'm sitting there waiting. And so I knew a couple of teams that wanted me and was talking to my agent that would probably take me that need a cornerback. And once it came to Washington, because I think Arizona was before me. I'm like, man, they need a corner, but God, Arizona is far.
From Georgia.
Right. So once Washington picked me, we was happy and joyful, and, back then, celebrate with your family, your boys, and, hey, parents, I'll see y'all later. We out. So it was a great experience, especially going to the drafts, my best friends being picked early. One of my other best friends, that's a quarterback at Washington, was drafted 25.
Yep.
My same draft. So going to Washington, being there with him made things easier too.
Yeah, both went. Campbell and you went to Washington that year. Right. Yes, absolutely. Ben was saying how people started coming for money. Like, do you remember? And he said that night someone called and said, "Hey, man, don't forget about me." Like when you make it, like.
Oh yeah, that comes with it.
Yeah,
that comes with it. But I got a tight family. It was all really about me, my mom, my dad, my brother. My aunts and uncles. We was all close and cool, but it wasn't that y'all just gonna come at me. Now my parents had to deal with some
Absolutely,
stuff,
yes.
and I kind of stay out the way, and they handled it the way they handled it, and it was fine. So I really didn't get that bothering me about money and things like that.
Good deal. Well, we just wanted to bring you in, man, and have you talk about her a little bit. Any parting words for her as we close this show out today? Anything you want her to know as we move forward?
No, it's her first time, her first experience. Gonna be many more.
Yes.
I won't be in the room. I kind of like to stay away. I'm that dad. Yes. I like to stay away and let her experience everything and go through everything. If somebody need to tell her, I will. But for the most part, my time is up. I tell everybody, my time is up. It's Giaunni time, and if you want to hear me or talk to me or ask me questions, man, just go on your computer and whatever you need to know about me now. But I want to be in her book and let her write her book and her own book, and I just want to be one of the ones that follow.
Absolutely. Well, Carlos, thanks for stepping in, man. G, we're going to close this thing out, and we always do. First of all, I always tell people just thank you. Thank you, Carlos, for number one, raising you and Shauna for raising an amazing kid. We're looking forward to following you. Like, we want to be don't forget about us. When you get big time, don't leave us out, right? So we'll be at the St. Francis games cheering you on, signs and stuff like that. How do people find you? If people want to find you on Instagram, Twitter, tell your followers how to find you.
Well, My Instagram is at I am Gianni, as Kai said before. And my Twitter is, I believe it's Gianni_Rogers. And that's all of my platforms, I believe, that I have.
Well, this has been a wrap, guys. We want to thank Gianni, her dad Carlos, for stepping with us today. Make sure you follow Sports Told by Youth. That's a wrap. Peace.
Thank you.